Dunedin.
Otago. That's right, back on the 12.
Otago. It's a beautiful day. How do I do this?
Pretty bloody sunny out there.
It's lovely.
Show them the big waterfall.
Yeah, so the camera's like white thing is set. So I couldn't show you. It's beautiful though. It's lovely. Aaron's there.
Hi.
Everyone say hi, Aaron.
Hi, Aaron.
Not you.
Hi, Aaron.
Not you.
God. So today we're going to be showing some of the electrical system changes. We're going to build a small mothership this time to show how that kind of stuff works. And some of the bug fixes and improvements as we head towards our release date for the very early access, which is on the 13th of December. So yeah, so join us for that and it'll be fun. We're going to have a few people join, some of the developers and some of the community have been testing out. I'm just going to tweet it out and then we're good to go. And I kind of yoded it. Alright, I need to bring up the chat. Just so I can see the chat. Oh my god. Here we go. Yeah, so feel free to post questions in the chat. And Steph, our producer, will highlight them and let us know. Just let us know how the sound is, if there's any issues with it or anything like that. So, without further ado, we will get underway. There may actually be some dev at towards the end of it as well, which you'll hang around for, but that usually takes quite a while, so it can be quite boring. It's a shame. I need to set my camera to be leveling because we've got a Navy ship outside. So we're going to start a new world this time, and we're going to have a bunch of people create. Oh, so Flim Flam, who I think is one of our testers actually, asked if modding tools will be accessible at December 13th for release, or such things on hold until beta or 1.0. Very good question. Well, it's not flat out no. There are going to be some modding tools available. So we've already pulled out the string files. Y'all can start joining as well. Someone joined. It's Dylan. Hi, Dylan. Oh, he's showing off the new chat bubbles.
Hello.
So yeah, some mod tools will be available. Localization. So we've started the localization process. At the moment, we are working with the community to do at the very least English, German, and Russian. And so those tools are available for release. But as well, we're also probably going to have the events and world saves. So there'll be 3 things that are moddable in time for release as well. Mason is in.
Yo. Well, your hot mic is there.
Yeah, Scott, you're a hot mic. I'm just gonna.
Moved out of your channel.
Okay, thanks. Yeah, so inspired a lot by Barotrauma, Space Station 13, as Regent said there. So I'll play some Mothership core. At the moment, we're going to be doing it sort of in creative mode. Do you want to start blocking it out, Mason? Sure. While Mason's blocking it out, I'm going to show, while those guys are building it, I'm going to show off some of the changes that have been done within the week. We did a lot of optimization, so you can see at the moment I'm getting 250 frames. So we have done a lot of optimization and a lot of bug fixing working with the community.
User was moved to your channel.
Our biggest issue at the moment is probably why you're doing all this. And next week is going to be focused a lot on making sure we get all the recipes so you don't have to make this. Maybe don't come back too much further, because I
Yep.
started building here, which was kind of stupid of me, but oh well. I added the O key, guys, as well turns your thing on and off. It should do. That's weird. My welding torch didn't spawn with a tank in it. Bug. Oh, well, people get to see how it works. So anyway, O, guys, the O key will turn things on and off for you. Oh, Sakural's in chat. He can actually join if he wants. We're running the latest, for those who want to join, we're running the latest
Beta branch.
beta branch. Actually, I think I pushed it to main as well. Oh, how did I get this welding tool? I have like a second welding tool. Did I spawn it? I think I did. That was why it didn't have a tank in it. That's not a bug. It's not a bug. So someone just asked where you get this game. If you go to Steam and you look for Stationeers, you can wishlist it. It's coming out on the 12th of December. 13th though, New Zealand time, but whatever. I'm going to just throw this away because we don't need it because we have one. So I'm going to show some of the changes. So the previous battery, a lot of people in the testing team I think liked it, but there were some problems with it. So actually, first of all, I'm going to place down something to charge, to generate power. And we've started looking at some new stuff, and quite rightly, people pointed out a problem with the generator that we did. So this is a solid fuel generator that you can make. We wanted a very early tier, something that you can use very early on in the game. When you first start out, you go mine some solid fuel and you put it in. Now, at the moment, it takes coal. But what we're going to do is we're actually going to make it, because that's not realistic because you need oxygen and stuff like that. So we're actually going to make a pretend element that I think I was going to call, what was it,
Hydroxide, something to that effect.
hydroxide or something, which is basically space coal. So you'll shove space coal in here, and it will generate. And so that's your very early tier, but highly pollutant. Highly pollutant stuff thing. So I'm going to just spawn in some coal. So just pretend this is some magical hydroxylene or hydroxide or something. So we put it in there, and when we turn it on here, it's going to actually start generating that, and it's going to start producing power. So we want to capture this power. So what we're going to do is we're going to put a battery down. Where are we? Okay, battery. We're going to chuck battery down here. Where are we? We're going to chuck it here. So you can see I can see the inputs and outputs. Now there's a couple of cool things about how we're setting up. Someone keeps hot micing off me. I have to mute them. So we can actually, what I've started doing is standardizing how this works. So we could actually attach a chute to this, which we'll do in a minute, to basically make a balancing system. So we could actually make two generators and charge the, this is the battery here. Now it will always, I think it will only charge when it's turned on or off. We'll find out how that is. Now we simplified this a lot more. Is hydroxide a real element? Can someone explain to me what it does? Maybe the chat can solve that. What should we call space coal?
That one I can do.
So I'm going to get.
Scott, you're still hot micing.
Yeah, we can just move Scott to another channel if he can't control this thing. It's used to bleach your hair. Lol.
User disconnected from your channel.
So, I have made heavy cable. Now, I did the art for this. That's why it looks crap. So, Peter will go through and make a cool one. Now, there's actually, I didn't want to use this cable for a start, so I'm going to show, we've been doing some quality of life. I think I showed this before. So now basically when I rip these cables up, they'll go back into my inventory. We did some quality of life stuff like that. I don't actually want to use the heavy cable for the moment. I just want to use the normal cable to show you what's going to happen and how we can do this. And you see in the background, these guys are actually creating the little ship that we're going to use to go around and travel around our sector here. So we connect this up, we're going to turn this on, and it's going to start generating power, which is all very cool. And then when I do this, you can see it's blowing the cable there. It's blowing the cable. It did give us a little bit of charge, but it blew the cable because too much power is being produced here. So we need to improve this a bit. Now, options we have, we can place down a fuse, and this will control where the break will happen. It won't stop it breaking. So if we, I think this is rated to 50 kilowatts, but let's put a 5 kilowatt fuse down here. That's turned off, which is good. And let's chuck down this here and turn it on, and you'll see what happens. So it's always going to break when you have a fuse where the fuse is. So you can use the fuse to protect your equipment. In future, different things will be able to blow. So the battery will take as much. It's a very simple object. It will take as much as it can. Region asked where the cable chooses to blow. If you have a fuse, it will blow on the fuse first, then it will blow on a cable. Now, because we manage these power networks all as one thing, it will always pick randomly. And these are some of the concessions that we have to make. So it's as if the whole network is heating up. So I'm going to spawn in a tablet, which we showed previously, so we can basically do some debug here. I'm going to grab a network analyzer, and I'm going to plop the network analyzer inside, and I'm going to steal a battery, and I will probably need this, so I'm going to grab the battery, plop it in here, and I'm going to put this back in my tool belt. So, you know, we can debug here, and we can get information about the power networks. So it's turned off. So I'm gonna, now what we're going to do is we have a couple of options. One, we can place heavy cable down, which means that we're going to be getting the whole power in, but heavy cable is going to cost you a lot more resources. Now the spark does ignite the air. I don't know whether I've got that set at the moment, but yes, it will do that. Now what we can do is we can place a transformer in, and we can regulate the amount of power that's going to be taken, but that means a lot of power is going to be wasted. So we're actually going to go into the battery as using the heavy cable, which will, I think, not break. So now this is going to be taken in, and if we study here, we can see that 50 kilowatt, which is the entire amount that is produced, is being pulled into the battery, and you can see the battery is now slowly charging up. So it's slowly charging up, and we can basically use that battery now to power stuff that's going on around. So, you know, we might want to pull in a light. If I get a wall light in here, I'm trying to think of something that uses a lot of power, but we can put the wall light in here. Like this. And it's now drawing down off it. Now you can see that the power potential of this network is 50 kilowatt. We've tried to keep power very... so someone just asked if heavy cable is unlimited. Heavy cable is not unlimited. I think heavy cable only allows 100 kilowatts to go through it before it'll break at the moment. It's quite simple what we've got. We're looking at doing it a lot more complicated. So you see now the battery is fully filled up. So, you know, what I might actually want to do is show how we could use, I think I can use a logic computer for this. I can. I'm going to do a computer. Just start to show how we can use some of the previous stuff in here that we've put in. So I'm going to chuck a computer here. where's my data? My data's on the other side. So, so we can actually start to use a logic computer here to help control how we're going to do some of this stuff. Now, because the data port's on the other side, we can actually utilize that to our advantage. Now, I do need to develop some of the battery functions probably aren't brilliant, so the mode stuff is going to require a little bit of thought with us with this. So it's flashing error because it's got nothing inside here, so we need to go in here. And we need to get a logic motherboard. So we've showed this off on previous dev streams, but I want to kind of show how it can be used practically with this example. So see, it's run out of coal now. It's run out of coal and it's actually switched off. But that's fine because it was being wasted. So conditions in here, we want to do stationary battery power as, now we want to try and grab mode. Stationary battery mode is critical. And what we want to do is we want to turn the solid fuel generator power on. And then we want to do a new state. We want to do next state. So this can be, let's name our first state here. This will be called start charging. So what happens if I connect the computer to a high voltage cable? At the moment, you can connect any cable to anything. We might look at resolving that in the future, but yeah, like someone said, it really doesn't matter what the type of cable it is. It matters how much charge goes through it. And we've tried to simplify a lot of the systems, and this is going to be stop charging. So the logic system, I'm pretty pleased with. It's pretty cool. So now when the stationary battery power, so we're going to select mode. So I will change these to is or is greater and stuff like that. And once it's once it gets to high, what we want to do, see, this is where I'd want to make it greater than and stuff like that. So I need to add that as a, we don't want to make it full because basically, well, we can probably make it, yeah, let's make it full. So once it gets fully charged, it will stop. And it will set it to stop, and then we will send it back to start charging. So hopefully that makes sense for people. Now, we might not want to let it get to critical. We might want to let it get to other parts. But let's click play on that. So now, I actually want to have a view that's like a summary view for the logic computer as well. But yeah, this will be how it functions. So now what we could do is we could actually also set up an automatic feeder for our little thing here. So while we're doing this, we should take a quick tour of where they're getting on so people can see what's being done here. As most of these people I think are just watching, but Mason's trying to block out the basics of the fuel system. So he's using medium thrusters. He could use small thrusters, but he's using medium thrusters because it's quite large with one big engine. And he's starting to connect up to the fuel and stuff. Is it going okay, Mason? No big bugs? Yep.
Cool. No, I haven't had any problems yet.
So to keep this whole thing going, because we can only have one thing in here, I'm going to want to start using our chute system that we've got previously. Now I wish we had something. What's something that uses a lot of power at the moment? We probably need for testing a power sink. I don't think there is anything that uses a lot of power.
Does the centrifuge use a lot?
No. Maybe the Stellar
Joel
Anchor
was
does.
using a battery charger full of batteries.
Yeah, but the batteries then have to be like...
Cycle down.
I'm just going to use a Stellar Anchor here. I think the Stellar Anchor uses a fair bit of power. Yeah. Do we have any questions while I'm doing this? This is going to take a minute or two.
So with the logic computers, will the logic be accessible for editing outside?
You didn't come up on TeamSpeak, Steph.
Oh, sorry, I pressed the wrong button. With the logic computers, will the logic be accessible for editing outside of the game if it's very complex?
No. Now that a pretty good question. So this is something that say Space Engineers does, and I think they do it. They do it quite well. They allow you to write code. We specifically went away for that. So one of the tenets of the game was we wanted to keep you in the game at all as possible. Now we have talked about having a device like a microwave dish or whatever that allows you to connect your world as it's going on to the outside world. So you might be able to like send an email or something like that. But we haven't really looked at that anymore yet. So I think a stellar anchor will. So yeah, we want to try and keep people in game and keep people focused and stuff like that. I really hope this depletes our battery. What about a heater? I think we have these on here. Air conditioner. I think a wall heater might do it, but it may require atmosphere to run. No. Hopefully that should drain our battery reasonably quick. So while the battery's getting drained, we will now look at how we can link this up. Now I haven't actually tested this, so this will be interesting. But what we can do is we'll do this. Actually, what I'll probably do.
Someone want to build an airlock into the ship?
Keep the airlock
That's what I'm doing
relatively
now.
small too.
Yeah, just do it one by one.
Maybe someone said it may be a bug that the power port is providing data. Where's this?
So that's with the logic controller not
You're not coming up on TeamSpeak, Steph.
Sorry. The logic controller not connected to the battery logic port.
Crap. Yes. Yes, sir, that is a bug.
I will write that down.
That's a bug. Interesting. I like you. Oh, okay, so there's no way we can move the mothership, right?
No.
Okay, you're just so close that occasionally I'm starting to construct on the mothership. It's fine. We'll go around. So this is a little bug we have at the moment where, so you can see as I get really close to it, it's actually thinking, yeah, there's no way I can get around this, unfortunately. This is a problem.
Where are you trying to construct?
I'm right beside it. I'm trying to do a test to show people. Yeah, you're so
If
close.
your
That
cursor is pointing directly at one of the structure objects, it should work.
nope.
Done.
Oh, yes. No, you're right.
Yeah, I thought I fixed that.
But not if you're inside it, which is interesting.
Right.
Probably need to do a bit of work on that.
Yeah, that what I did was kind of just a temporary thing till we work out how that's going to work.
True. We're probably going to forbid you constructing a mothership so close to her. I am going to make a chute. I might actually do it after this to show people how it works. Chutes are actually not even just inspired by Space Station 13. They are literally what's in Space Station 13. So, so now we need to decide whether we want to do a bin or whether we want to do an inlet. And I can't really decide, actually. We could do an inlet. So an inlet, we just have to throw at it, and the stuff will go in. But a bin could be cool. I think we do an in, and then we basically just throw the ore into it, and it will start going in.
Jetpack low.
Okay, so jetpack's starting to get low. So what we'll do is we will start throwing some ore in here. So that'll get sucked up, and it's going to go all the way around here. And if I remove this, oh, shit, I hope I actually configured that. Oh, because it's not turned on, I think. Yeah, so it may need to be turned on before it will grab. So let's try that out. So it was sitting in the corner waiting to be attached, basically, waiting to be collected. Because because it wasn't turned on, I think it wasn't going. So all that will mean that basically coal will queue up as it goes along. So if I turn this on, oh, so hopefully this grabs it. Why is it not picking up? This is really strange. Seems to be a bug with this. I'll try replacing it. So hopefully it's grabbed it up. It might be because it doesn't have power. It might actually need power to grab it.
Power low.
Yeah. So we put this in here, and then I think if we do this, it should. This is why I want to have windows.
Like a window on
On the
one of the
chute,
chutes?
so that you can see what's in there. So yeah, imagine this is space coal. So this is like coal that contains oxygen. So we're going to switch the state so we can just verify that it stops charging. So did we turn the computer off? Oh, we were turning the battery off. We want to turn. That was silly. Station battery. We want to turn the solid fuel generator off. So there. So see, now it's turned off and it's gone to the next one. And it's not full. And you know what we could do is, because the battery's got a lot of capacity, we could actually do this. We could say if it goes down to high. So what it'll do is you'll see basically this will start cycling on and off. So you see it's turning it up, and it's basically just topping up the battery all the time now. So it's perhaps not brilliant because, like, you know, there's probably no need for us to keep doing that. But it at least shows you how this functions. How are you guys getting on with the shuttle?
Control systems are almost finalized. Airlock's halfway done.
Yeah, I got distracted.
How do you want us to power the shuttle? RTG?
Is it going to be possible to see the percentage of the battery?
No. Well, you kind of can. That we try not to send updates too much if we can. So no. What are you laughing at, Mason?
I'm lost.
I won. But yeah, I'll ask you a question, Mason. Do you want them to power the mothership with an RTG?
I'm unconscious and I'm not.
Oh.
Where are you?
I don't know.
Where are you? Do you have
Yeah,
any
we're
idea?
gonna have to power the mothership with an RTG. No, I have no idea. I was trying to switch out my my propellant tank, and I threw it,
Yours is
and I
almost out
crashed
then.
into it.
Same thing's happening to me.
Do you want me to save and load up in the editor? Oh shit, I'm out of propellant.
No,
Oh
I can just
fuck,
come.
I just hit my suit as well. Why is that suddenly happening, Bad?
Yeah, if you throw stuff while drifting, you'll wreck
I
yourself.
think it's some of the stuff Scott did. When you're throwing tanks now, they're hitting you really bad.
Yeah, and you're accelerating really fast, or is that you flying? Okay, that's you flying. I'll just micro Dylan.
I think we should just start banning people from the chat if they start talking about Daisy. I need to charge my power. So are you guys okay, Mason?
No,
Yeah, Mason.
I am not okay.
Which direction do you think you went?
We can check the asteroids. Did you say you banged into an asteroid? Maybe we don't need this to go very low. Maybe if it goes high. So it'll turn it on and it should charge it up. Right. So I think at the moment they're trying to find yeah, so I think they're organising a search party now to go find Simon and Mason. Yeah, first away mission, find a crew. We are going to add dynamic beacons to the game.
Okay.
Oh, so now I need to show transformers. So if we start looking at this now, and we look and see, so it's using 2.8 kilowatts. So that's about half the way to us breaking the we don't want to set to empty. To set to medium. No, to high. So you see how it's turned it on, and it's going to charge the battery back up, and then it's going to. So basically, it's alternating now between turning the battery on and off, which is actually very inefficient. So we don't actually want to do that. So we'll set it to medium. So what we want to do is we want to use a transformer. Now this is a little bit controversial with one of the testers at least didn't like how the battery used to be like in Space Station 13 where you had settings and stuff like that. But we've made a couple of transformers, a small one and a large one. A large one's really for doing, when we get into the reactors and stuff like that, stepping down big amounts of power. And controlling the drawer, because at the moment we're not controlling the drawer. As we start to put more items on here, you can just draw as much power out of the battery. So we wanted to make things flexible, make it easy to understand, and stuff like that. So what we've done now is we've tried to make it, I think, more interesting. So I'm going to grab these cables up here, and I'm just going to place down a small transformer. You can see we've got an input and data and an output one. Now what this means is we're actually going to have to pull off our data here from this. And I'm actually going to just biff that away. Oh! Let's just open the log file for this. Bug fixing. I think it's the first serious bug we've got. I'm just going to dump this in this log file into there we go. Chuck that into the chat. So we're going to disconnect the wall heater here. And we're going to chuck a small transformer in here. And then we're basically going to use that to output, and you'll be able to see how this works. So the power's going to come in here. So we turn it on. Now it's got no power coming in if we set this up. So it's not grabbing any power because it doesn't need any power. And if we plop this along here like this, so it's got a power network. So it's going to be using a very small amount of power, so we don't want to do that at the moment. Now it'll only pull through as much power as we're actually demanding. So what we're going to do is we're going to plop it in here like this. And we're going to turn it on. Now at the moment, it's only set to provide 10 watts of power. So if we grab the network analyzer here, we can see it's trying to pull down the whole amount. But it needs a lot more. It needs a lot more to power the battery charger and everything else. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to increase this a lot. So we're going to allow, I think the maximum a small transformer goes up to is 1,000 watts, which I'm not sure is enough. So, we need to do some balancing, obviously. So actually, we're going to need a large transformer. So I might want to modify this in future.
Okay.
What happened?
Oh, I got kicked out.
Were you alt-tabbed, maybe?
I'm not too sure.
I want to manage my inventory a bit here. So we're going to actually plop down a large transformer. So basically this week we're going to look at doing a bit of balancing and stuff like that. Did I lose that kit? I did. Yeah, so we need to do a lot of this kind of stuff. Do you know if they found Mason?
We did not. He's gone.
Well, I can like save and reload.
Yeah, if you want to.
Yeah, we can do that. Let me just finish off doing the transformer. Yeah, should I put it? I think I'll put it on this side here like this.
On the note of losing Mason, there's been a question about are there tethers to avoid flying off in space?
No, no tethers. That's just a physics nightmare. But what we are going to do is we are going to make a... I might actually do it after this as part of the dev stream. Make a cartridge that allows us to... a cartridge that allows us to find people easier. So this is our large transformer. Damn it. Okay, so I need to... That's something I need to fix for a bug. I need to replace the thing here. So now the transformer, if we go look at this is a safer way to run our network. So the power potential is 5 kilowatts through here, whereas the power potential through here is 50 kilowatts. And it's actually only drawing... okay, so that's wrong. We're magicking at the moment. That's because of the power tick. The way the power tick is reported is wrong here because it's doubling it there and it's halving it there. I need to fix that later.
We can move the ship if you wish.
Cool.
Or we can try to.
Maybe, Mason, it might be better for me to load back in so that you can like direct it, do you think? Or
I'm directing it from here just fine.
true. So yeah, so that's outlined how transformers, at the moment transformers can't explode. So it looks like they're moving the ship now, and you can see it's plopping out atmosphere as they move the big engine. And just doing some small repositioning. So it looks like they have fuel tank, they have oxygen tank. Inside this analyzer, if we actually pull out the network cartridge and chuck in an Atmos cartridge, we can actually have a look at some of this stuff here. So do you guys want to fire up? Do a go forward? I can't hear anyone. I'm not sure whether they can hear us. Don't worry about it. That's fine. Oh, okay. So there's no gravity or anything inside.
It's not though. We're just getting it out of your way.
Right. Whoa. It's just we can't really move around without gravity because you'll just kill us.
Alright, have we got a stellar anchor?
Nope. You should probably try to stop it, maybe by turning it around. You're just
No,
going
we
to...
got it.
Oh, yeah. So yeah, we're not going to be able to move very effectively if we're floating around. So I will place some frames down on the top here. Yeah, so we can have very big sectors. We're going to kind of start you off with some pre-built stuff initially.
So along those lines, someone also asked about small asteroids, large asteroids. Are there going to be larger asteroids than what we see?
Yeah, so Simon, what work have you've been doing some work, right?
Give me 2 seconds. Yeah, so I've just started working on that just before the just before the stream, I was making bigger asteroids. They look pretty good, but I didn't manage to commit them for the for the stream. But I think what we want to do is have some much larger ones, and then have them grouped together, so clusters of asteroids. But they look really impressive, the big ones. So it's pretty cool.
And so those asteroids will have ores on them that people can mine as they go around.
Yeah, and at the moment we have got the ability to have different ores be more or less how rare they are, and we might also, I don't know, have per asteroid, like, so you might have like a really iron-rich asteroid or something like that, which would be quite cool.
An important question here: how do you turn the mothership?
With your mouse, using a gyroscope.
So you've got the gyroscopes on there as well as using the console, or?
Yeah, you have to get in the seat here, and the gyros allow you to do your rotational movement. Just checking we've got windows. I think we have. Why don't we have gravity in here? Oh, because someone's used the corner blocks don't provide gravity at the moment.
Yeah, we're walling them off for now.
It won't work here. We should probably wall that one off, I guess, then. So gravity at the moment gets applied to closed rooms. So when we go in here, there'll be gravity. There we go. Do we have atmospherics in there? Is that someone able to push cancel? Thanks.
0G.
And we don't have maybe a couple of other ones. Maybe we need to put a floor in here. I'll place floors down, I think. Maybe we didn't need the floors. Do we not need them?
No, it's just we're missing some up the front.
Gotcha. Okay, I'll rip these up. We might need a locker. Should I place down a active vent or? Dylan, your welding torch is on too. So we're starting to hear the sounds of the ship. because there's atmosphere, obviously. How much gas have we got left in here? I don't know whether this one will be enough. Should probably add a couple of lights in here as well, Simon. How's that garbage disposal?
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
I think you need to put something on the bottom of it.
Oh, it was working. It's just something's gone wrong with this.
Bugs. We are out of gas.
Do we still have
Could
the
someone push
security
cancel on
cameras?
the airlock thing?
Done.
Do we still have the what, sorry?
Security cameras in game?
Yes, but I think we're probably going to end up removing them.
Mm-hmm.
Just because they cause us some inclusion problems and stuff like that.
So really your best bet for navigating while flying the mothership at the moment is just to look out the window
Yep.
and communicate with each other?
Yep, we're going to do a sonar machine. Get in there. Get. Actually, what we might need to do is someone go outside the ship. I'm gonna cycle the airlock. I think the airlock is configured the wrong way round.
Alright, double check. I don't think so.
Well, it says pressurizing. There's something dreadful wrong with your mic, Simon. I'm just going to
Microphone muted. Microphone activated.
might have to mute you. Well, no one named the airlocks, which was probably not a good idea. I'll label them. Yeah, the internal airlock was set as the exterior, which was not smart. That's why the poor thing was having a real problem. As the whoa.
The vents.
Whoa, something happened. We've got a hole somewhere. Yeah, we do.
Low pressure.
I think someone's taken something off the side of the stellar anchor. I don't actually think there's a... yeah, someone's removed something from where the stellar anchor is.
Power low. Oxygen critical.
Is someone outside? Because there's something missing on the side of the ship. I think someone took something off. Who's that? Your battery's out, whoever that is. Okay, well, no one's doing anything. I'll just remove this and just take a look. No, it seems alright. quite sure what happened there. But we had a oh, okay, so that didn't help. I think it's Joel. Joel's really messed up the airlock thing. I think I might just revert his changes. Yeah, it looks like the airlock thing was broken. That's why we suddenly lost all our pressure in here. Is the airlock not hooked up? Pipe network not hooked up to air? Because it doesn't seem to be pressurizing. Is anyone on TeamSpeak? No.
Hello?
Oh yeah. I just don't know whether this is hooked up. Whoops. No, it's not, because I can hear the thing beeping. So I don't think they didn't hook the airlock up, so the airlock doesn't have air in it, so it can't pressurize, which is why we're having problems. But we'll get rid of this. Not a good idea to have those crates in there. Is anyone outside the ship? Cool, if you could just remove that crate. Now I don't know what we're going to do about the airlock. Interesting, another bug. Maybe something got removed there.
Might have been me, I'm just hooking up this battery charger.
Roger. Still need to fix it. We don't want to have null refs. So we'll try do this again. We're just sort of ghetto. I don't think our don't think this is actually doing anything.
Garbage chute's working now too. It's just up by the captain's chair.
I don't think that's working. Did we I thought we had a, maybe we did have a bug about this. Oh yeah, now it's coming out. So yeah, probably one thing we need to do is configure that up. Let's put a couple of chairs around. Do we not have a yeah, we do have a furniture kit. Got a lot of air movement. Does anyone know where the pipe is that's actually connected inside the
It's underneath on the rear side.
right.
User left your channel.
Oh, someone's coming in. Probably don't come in. We need to connect up the airlock because we can't do anything until it's connected. Someone's going to need to go out and connect it up. Who's that in there? Who's in the airlock?
Oh, sorry, that's me.
Yeah. If you
User
could, you
joined your
need to
channel.
connect an air tank up to the airlock, otherwise we can't use it. So you're not going to be able to get in. Yeah, so we're slightly pressurizing it in here. Does anyone know how Scott's getting on? Is he able to take a look at it? Otherwise, we're going to have to do some nasty override, which we don't want to have to do.
I don't know if you could hear them, but they're working on it. Checking the connection.
Cool. Just going to try resetting it. So it'll be ready to go once they sort that out.
In the meantime, did you want a couple questions?
Sure.
So, beyond building your mothership, can you talk about away missions, what the objectives will be, what the goal is of all of this?
Yeah, so we're not entirely sure exactly what we're going to do for the away missions, but we do have a few, ideas about how we do that. Just 1 second, more window on airlock. I don't want it so you have to jump to see who's in the airlock, so I think we might put more windows on the airlock so that you can actually see in it. Yeah, so a basic away mission is going to be, we're sort of, trying to just completely close off that build a station game loop. So you'll build, this is probably quite large for the initial motherships we'll get people to build, because it'll be more about having a small shuttle that you take somewhere, then you go and do the, you get the resources, you go back and you start building your station. That's a good point. Maybe I don't have to jump if I have that. So that's the essential game loop that we're looking for. Dylan, one of the problems with the vent was that it didn't have access to gas. Do you know if they've put gas in?
No, I'm not sure. Oh, Simon says there is.
Cool.
I'm also got to make sure it's not the wrong vent, because that other vent I've got over here isn't labelled.
Could someone label the vent in there?
Yep.
I think me and Simon can't spawn anything. You can? Was it lag or you just blind?
Just let me know when it's good to go, Simon. Or if there's any problems. Just try communicate if you can, because I just don't know what's going on. I don't want to bore the stream by waiting around.
They're just trying to reconfigure the airlock.
I think Joel's really screwed it up, because the doors, either that or someone has come in here and altered it from what it was before.
Can we just quickly double check it's the right vent?
It's the vent's fine. I think the doors might be the wrong way around, but I actually think it's a bit broken at the moment. Yeah, I think he's got the doors around the wrong way. Like,
Pointed at the wrong vent. The vent on the inside of the
no, because it said it was trying to pressurize and it had the doors around the wrong way.
Well, the vent on the inside of the ship is locked, so something's linked to that. And it also explains why the ship hasn't been able to pressurize.
Oh, the challenges.
It's like rocket science. Haha. We're good.
Now we're all trapped in here.
No, I think it should work now, but it's stuck on pressurize and depressurize. I think we need to ditch the circuit board and chuck a new one in. So what I might actually do is unlink everything, chuck a new circuit board in, and we'll bin that old one. Did we have a disposal system configured?
Here's a chute over this side by the window.
Cool.
Go and chuck it to me and I'll chuck it out.
We don't have 2 gas sensors, do we? Did I get it in?
Nah,
Damn.
thought it was a layup.
Right, so let's configure this. Active vent, that's the airlock one. Gas sensor. Okay, so let's try cycling to exterior. So yeah, if you get it set up wrong, as you can see, and you don't have stuff working, you're going to have a bad time. So I think it's okay now. Buy disk. Should put an outlet on the end, it's more fun that way.
So what happens to the things that float out into space? Do they just keep on going until they reach the edge? Or?
Hold on. We need to remove this thing in here, which is stuck in there. So someone needs to be ready with glass. Simon, behind you. Can you get ready with glass to replace this window here? Over here. Okay, go. Alright, we're good. We should probably chuck a what is it, a locker somewhere? I think it's storage. You want construction kit storage. The Russian community got a little sensitive about us putting everything in a furniture crate. No, that's because someone put a light above the fuel tank, or a fuel tank above the light, and the light's clipping through, so we'll move that. Oh yep, someone was already onto it, I think. Might chuck some of this stuff away that I've got in here that's not really needed. Yeah, did we have any more questions, Steve?
Yeah, so when we were talking about the away missions and moving across space in your mothership, will there be smaller shuttles that you'll be able to go to and from your mothership?
We are going to do some vehicles, but I think the idea is you build a small shuttle at the moment. Cool.
And NPCs as well?
Yes, definitely NPCs. We're actually going to allow for the early access people. Let me know when to turn off the stellar anchor too. Early access people will be able to actually pay, just like with RimWorld and stuff and Prison Architect, to actually name some of the NPCs, and we'll have like little NPC missions like transport a prisoner and stuff like that.
Will there be cosmetic items like that as well?
Not paid properly. Yeah, I don't think we'll see. We'll talk about some stuff with the community, but we'll see.
And docking motherships to stations?
Definitely docking between motherships and between stations. So we're actually moving now as we speak. So we're turning around. Yeah, we are looking at a space sonar radar thing, so we are looking at doing that. What's the air composition at the moment? we've got some pollutant, some chlorine. Maybe I could chuck a filtration system up. But I'm not going to have anywhere really to put it. I could probably just put it in a pipe for the moment, or we could just vent it outside. You probably didn't want to do that, Simon. It's going to fly around, but I guess that's alright. No, it's all good. We've got it here now. Where's a battery charger? Over here. So pollutant at the moment is just called chlorine, but we'll probably change that later. I think there was some fuel in it as well. We'll have a look and see what's getting pulled out. There we go, so it's slowly scrubbing the air, and hopefully it's better. Space anchor is engaged.
If you crash into something in the mothership, you won't actually get damaged just yet.
No, that's right.
Toxin detected.
So, guys, I think we've got atmosphere now, so should we, we could probably head over somewhere too and do some mining.
Toxin detected. Toxin detected.
Yeah, no, you have to put that not on a power connector, but on a,
Toxin detected.
Atmos connector, but you probably don't need to do that. It'll be fine like this.
Toxin detected. Toxin detected.
Need to change the sensitivity of that. Actually, if we drag it round a bit, it'll help us get it.
Toxin detected.
Just let it get all the toxins.
Toxin detected.
Just check your suits aren't leaking, guys.
Toxin detected. Toxin detected.
Reconnecting quickly.
Oh.
I think we're good. I think we got rid of all the toxins here.
Do you need to worry about over pressurizing?
You will do, yeah. Just my battery's dead. My little thing. Yeah, so we got all the toxins, cleaned it all up. You can see the air scrubber there has a bunch of stuff in it. So now we can actually we could get rid of some of the carbon dioxide, but we could use that in here if we wanted to grow plants or something like that. Yeah, tablet charger is a good idea. Could even just be a generic device charger that's big enough for you to just throw the device in, but I'll put a tablet dock around. I'll put a tablet dock on the list. Could be pretty good. Oh, so we've got Erica from the Oxygen Not Included team, which we've been playing a lot of. So it's been a very cool game actually, that we've enjoyed playing a lot. Only thing I wish for an Oxygen Not Included is a high-tech item that is a pump that only takes up 1 or 2 squares. Not a fan of the 4 square pumps. I don't think any of our team has been. Should we go out and do some mining? I think we did some mining before. I'm going to get a mining belt. I'm going to grab my mining drill, take my belt off, plop that away. I'll save and reload.
Power critical.
Cool. We're just going to restart it because a couple of people couldn't connect.
Do you want to delete my character really quickly? Or? It's no big.
Just waiting. I've got to close these files down. There we go. So someone asked a good question too. Will refinery and such not be able to be placed on a mothership? I was wondering if you could make a cool mining mothership that could store and refine ores. We're probably going to stop, at least early on in the early access, because the motherships get kind of expensive for physics, them being too big, which will naturally restrict what you place on it. There's some things you definitely cannot place on a mothership. Conveyors is one of them, or we might just make it so conveyors only work while the stellar anchor is on, or something like that.
User left your channel.
Power low.
Okay, game's up.
Power critical.
Yeah, so that's a bug we've got at the moment. The atmospheric starts moving initially. I need to fix that.
Power low.
Put a nuclear battery in, but they take so long to charge at the moment. Yeah, so y'all should be able to come in okay. Are they having troubles connecting, Steph?
I'm in.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yep.
Oh, yep.
Just some oxygen not included information, Dean. Erica says that they now have a mini liquid pump that is 1 tile wide and 2 tiles tall.
Nice.
Man, you only asked for that like 2 minutes ago.
I know, right? If only they were making stationeers.
So there was a question earlier. It's quite a general question, but there's probably a few things that could be talked about. So what do you think are the biggest remaining challenges until the early access release?
Look, it all centers around the game loop, which is what you're doing. And I think actually if you look at Oxygen Not Included as an example of how to approach it, they had a good, quite small game loop at the start. Mason actually played it really early on in it. And I think that's what you have to do. You have to have it fun. A lot of people just enjoy building a station and making stuff. So I think we are going to have that game loop completed. There'll be a couple of game starts to choose from, which I guess are what we think are areas that it's fun to play. You know, that's kind of what we think will be fun, but I think that we'll kind of need to rethink that a little bit. So, you know, one of them will be starting on Mars, building a base, sort of the Martian style. So you'll start out with some basic resources, and you've got to try and, you know, survive and stuff like that. Then a second one we're going to do is more, I guess, an adventure mode, which is where you start out with a small shuttle, and the idea is you go out, find resources, establish a station somewhere, probably maybe in an asteroid, and you use those resources to build more and more and more. And so those are I guess the two broad game loops that we want to have in for early access, so you actually have something to do in the game. Then we need to kind of have all the content be able to be creatable, which is more of a design challenge. So we've got the basic systems working, now we just need to add enough content to them, and yeah, we've only got 2 weeks to do that. But a lot of the bugs are now broadly are mostly solved. You see, most of the bugs that you experience can be solved by either reconnecting the game if you're a client, or saving the game and reloading it, and that was what we were considering minimum level for the game. We're happy for there to be some bugs because it's a very complicated game. Happy for them to be some bugs on early access, as long as they're recoverable by either reconnecting as a client or saving your game and starting it up again. I can't remember, what were we about to do? Oh, go mining, right? So I've got my mining belt. I think someone stole my drill. Did I steal my drill? Where's my stapler?
I thought it was my drill. Here it is.
Thief! No, that's the wrong drill. It was this mining drill here. Probably don't use nuclear batteries. They take so long to charge. I just use large batteries. We're going to be redesigning this. This battery thing is old anyway. I'm going to chuck that
Got
in
some
there.
almost fully charged nuclear batteries at my asteroid base. If you want to come down.
Should try out the pickaxe as well. Make sure it actually still works. We should definitely take some spare. Take a heal pill and a spare battery or two.
Toxin detected.
Wait, we got some toxins. Oh, from in there. I'll turn this back on and drag it around. We must have toxins.
Detected.
Ah, damn it. We have toxins in the air system, I think.
Toxin
We really need to
detected.
filter that out. Oh well, I'll close my mask. And I'll lock it so that you don't accidentally open it is a good idea.
Power critical. Power low.
I'm just going to wait for some of these batteries to charge up. Outside the ship, or maybe actually inside, let's do a portable generator. Dynamic generator. So that basically we can charge batteries as we go. Got some tank pressure in there. Let's grab one of these. Oh yeah, so someone here had a chance to play it at Res. So yeah, it's come a very long way. So the game is really actually only a year old when you look at it. So it's come a very, very, very long way in a year. So we need to watch because this actually outputs exhaust into the air and heat. So we want to be very careful about it. So it's all about systems. So someone just asked about cost. We're going to start with $25 US. We've been talking to the community about how to approach that. So that's what we're looking at doing. Start off with a reasonably high cost.
Jetpack low.
Never ignore the jetpack low warnings. It's really weird after hearing the noise and then getting out and then not. Ah. Uh-oh.
Oh dear.
No, I'm good. May as well have some spares around. Could I show unconsciousness to someone? Who's this? Who's RocketWerkz? Is that Mason?
Me.
I'm just going to make you unconscious, just because I never showed it when it was actually working. So we're going to give Mason... Hey, Simon, we're still getting the bedrock issue with the asteroids.
Okay, I'll have another look at it.
So he's now unconscious, you can see there. Now when I'm dragging him, I can actually access his inventory. So I could interact with his inventory just like in Space Station 13. He'll come alive again in a minute. I think if I give him a heal pill, he'll instantly. I can't remember whether we changed that. So at the moment it's you know, we just have 2 pills that kind of do everything. But we are going to change that later on. Which asteroid were we heading over to? This closest one? Oh yeah, the guy's placed flares down. So we could see what's going on. So if I use my drill, I can actually pick up. So the drill's quite cool because it automatically puts it in your mining backpack. Now you can actually build a base inside, so the voxels work with the atmospheric system and with the gravity system. So So it's quite cool. You can use the voxels, You can use the voxels as walls when you're building your base, which we thought was pretty cool. So I think early on in one of our, say in our adventure game mode, that will probably be the smartest thing to do, is basically burrow into an asteroid and build. No, we've got a gravity style situation going on here. There we go. I managed to pick it up.
If you see a bunch of flares, I've started building a bit of an asteroid base. I don't know, it's probably a way away from me, but
Where's that heat coming from?
It's coming from the generator. So the generator is actually burning the gas that's inside of it. So inside that fuel tank, if I get my trusty so you can see what it's outputting. It's not entirely fully efficient, but it's pretty damn close. Just going to put this back in here, and I'm just going to pull this out so that everyone can see inside here. Oh, that's right, you can't read for things that aren't synced. Some things we don't sync to players, their state, but I can see inside here the pressure. So that's 52 pascals. So yeah, so there's not much exhaust coming out, but basically it's burning the gas, which I think is, at the moment it's propane and oxygen, but we're going to, just to avoid some of the science problems and people getting really mad, what we're probably going to do is create a bunch of, I guess, fake gases and stuff like that. Not completely, but we're trying to lump all the fuels together. So we might call it hydrocarbon, and then later on have like volatile hydrocarbons and stuff like that, just so that people, because we're trying to make a game and we can't have too many of everything and all the absolute complexity, because the game would never get finished and wouldn't be very fun. Yeah, so we're going to look at doing that.
How do you think the game will run on minimum spec computers? Have we tested it on?
Pretty good. So I'm getting 160 frames at the moment. I don't think I have it on absolute full settings. Reflections can be kind of cool.
So there's a lot of settings that you can adjust to.
Yeah, we've got a lot of settings in here to adjust, and we're going to keep adjusting that as well. So how much ore did I get in here? There. So yeah, the idea is we'll take that back to our little base, and we then take it to a station where we'd mine the resource. Now we are working on like an arc furnace, which is going to be a very early on basic furnace that you use, and you will be able to put that on your mothership, and basically you just throw the item inside it, smelt it, and you're good to go. There's something on fire.
I set a fire, yeah.
Whereabouts?
Now, though.
Oh.
Over by the asteroid.
We should do the lighting the canister on fire. Do you guys want to?
Yeah, that's what I did.
Yeah, we'll do that.
We'll
it's
do it
quite
over by the
fun.
ship.
Okay, we'll wait here and Mason come over and do it. We're going to have like a start where basically you don't have light, which we thought would be quite cool. So you're going to start off in like a distant asteroid rim, so it'll be like very dark, which will be quite cool. And we're working on the monsters at the moment as well. So what Mason's done here is he's grabbed a fuel canister and he's lit on side around it, so we can actually see inside of it. And actually, so some of those gas canisters are actually on fire now. They're actually burning. If I throw this out here, it might catch fire on its metal, so it won't. Yeah, but that's an example of the atmospheric system at work. So do we have any more questions?
Yeah, so once it releases into early access, what's the plan for update timeframes?
So the first week we're planning on doing. Did you have any food, Steph? I haven't eaten lunch.
I have some chickpea things.
No.
They're good for you. An apple?
So oh, Steph's got a Dean snack. Thanks, Steph. So the first week, the idea is, so it releases on the 12th. The first week we're going to do daily updates, particularly focused mainly on big community issues, hot fixing that are getting in the way of people playing. Probably not a lot of balance and a little balance, but a little bit of content. Then it'll be weekly updates. Basically, once a month we'll probably do bigger updates. But we'll do some good content updates for the next period of time after that.
And for refining, is it likely to get more complex? Dr. Notage has suggested Minecraft tech mods or Factorio mods level.
Yeah, the idea is probably going to be that different resources that get more complicated will require much more complicated refining. If you look at Oxygen Not Included, it's a similar thing. You know, you have to build like your metal refiners, and Mason was dropping. What were you doing, Mason? You were dropping.
It was dropping oil into lava to refine it into petroleum gas, something like that. And I was using the lava to clean the water.
So that's an Oxygen Not Included, which is absolutely well worth the play. Like, it was on sale recently too. So we are going to have the tech tree is probably going to be a power sink, which is what we've been talking about with Mason. And I was thinking this morning, Mason, we could have a particle accelerator, and basically the particle accelerator is how you advance your technology. So we need some energy, because the energy sink is a good sink to have in the game, because the power system's quite complicated and there's a lot of danger with it, which is what we want to do.
So you did mention monsters before. Is there going to be combat?
So we already have an energy gun. I just need to configure it up. I don't actually like the model though. Lol. That's my fault. I haven't configured that properly. Pew 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 pew. Scott, it's not targeting. Oh, he's left. I don't know why it's doing that. It's really weird.
I'll write it down.
Someone threw a fire extinguisher. Someone said there's more micromanagement in this, say, than Oxygen Not Included. Definitely. I mean, Oxygen Not Included is it's a single player game. We've tried to make this more. But, people were doing comparisons with Space Engineers. This is never going to be Space Engineers, and I think people who like Space Engineers might not necessarily like this. We're really going for like layered. I think of it as a little survival-y game. The idea is that it should feel exciting going out and dangerous going out in space, and we haven't quite got there yet. But all the base systems have been done, and we've optimized it, and that was, we're now at the point where we can get a little bit more complicated. Have we got the character creation screen working?
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Jump in there.
So I haven't even seen this yet. So
yeah, we should come inside and customize our characters.
like Peter did a really good job with these. gonna make myself. How tanned do I want to be?
Space 10?
Didn't we put my haircut in there? Yeah, there we go. My hair's not that dark though.
So when it's released into early access and we release updates, will there be stable and beta branches in it?
Yeah, there will. Yeah.
And what about ladders? Are there going to be ladders in the game?
Definitely. Actually, I had been working on ladders. I'm gonna write that down. Ladders. Write that down. Will there be microtransactions for spacesuit skins? No. Loot boxes. Lol. Pew 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 pew. So yeah, it's coming out in just over 2 weeks. And yeah, if you want it, definitely wishlist it. What we will look at doing is we may look at, if there's big problems within that, we may end up stopping it being sold at one point if there's problems, too many problems. We want to kind of restrict the amount of people who get it initially. I think Simon put a commander uniform on. Oh, you look very angry. Angry. I've seen some stuff and some things.
Do you mind if I fly the ship around? See
Yeah.
if we can find Dylan.
Have a look at the asteroids you're at, and I'll see whether I can.
The only issue with me doing development is I'm really hungry because I haven't eaten.
And you won't eat the chickpea snacks.
No.
Do you like jerky?
Nope.
Throw some flares, Dylan.
Yep.
Just looking through my list. Need to make the splitter and sorters take shape. So all my tasks are really boring, actually.
You have to do your chores.
They're my chores. Where are you taking us, Mason?
I don't know, I'm spinning wildly.
I need to increase the power of the gyros, right?
Yeah, I think it's more of just the small engines make it harder to decelerate.
So that's air outside, for people wondering.
I just think I'll start with the flares. If you can't see me now, you're not gonna.
We still have the rotation bug for the floors.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Wasn't sure if that was client side only.
No, it's actually in the placement. It's not that other bug, thankfully.
Yeah, well the cable on the roof has done it, but it's still connected, so it looks fine.
Yeah, it has done it.
So how far through is the localization for things like Russian, other languages?
Well, we've got the system all working. We just actually have to translate the things. So someone asked, has there been many problems with ships flying and people walking around in them? Yes, we had to do a lot of work and had to redesign our whole approach and system to that. But you can see it works pretty well. How's it for you guys as clients? Because we're moving pretty fast at the moment.
Working really well, yeah.
We do have an issue with interacting. You can see that wobble, which we're still working on, which can be a little problematic. But
I think I'm pulling back up to the center.
Yeah, I can see a flare down there. Do we still have salute in game?
It's 2, I think, isn't it?
You won't be able to do it while you've got stuff in your hands.
That flare might have fallen out of your ship because I've got heaps of flares. Oh, I can see the laser fire. Keep firing.
Are we going to implement anything along the lines of black holes or wormholes?
Maybe. I mean, that's sort of more future content. We definitely need to get the game loop, like, actually done now. Oh, God, I'm hungry.
To your left,
things
Mason.
like crops, horticulture.
Yeah, so that works. How much gas do we have here? Damn it, I think I left it in my backpack. Oh, there we go.
So at the moment we don't have hunger in the game.
I mean, hunger's
It's a
trivial
zero.
for me to add. I should just add it. I do have it on my list.
Just gotta do your chores.
Gotta do my chores. So, we need, I think,
Gonna guide
a
me in.
few percent carbon dioxide before our plants will grow. But we're slowly producing more carbon dioxide.
Is it off the nose down low?
Yeah.
The gas,
Uh,
the thrusters use a variable gas amount.
Don't go down any further, I'd say. Just come forward now.
So Mason's just got it on standard gas amounts. You could increase your thrust, Mason, if you were worried about the small engines.
Oh yeah, that would help. Decelerating is really rough.
It's page up and
Oh,
page
yeah,
down.
you're almost here. You're almost there.
Might go out and watch from outside.
Toxin detected. Power critical.
Is it dangerous to get too close to those engines while they're going? Will you melt?
At the moment, no, but it will be dangerous. At the moment, your suit protects you from all that. Oh, there's someone in there without a suit on. You alright?
Just.
Is this the right asteroid that I'm circling around?
You look like Patrick Stewart, Simon.
Yeah, that's the one.
0G.
I wanted to watch the ship moving around from outside. So yeah, it's important to note that the reason that those flames are blue is because they're using a almost perfect concentration of gas, and those little particles you see out there. So we're doing an actual atmospheric system. It's all done on a grid base. So even when you're operating the, hold on, I've got a problem. I need to turn my air conditioning on. My heat was getting quite high. So yeah, we're using actual atmospherics and actual calculations to generate a lot of this stuff. So there's a lot of complexity involved when you're trying to build your ship. Volumetric lighting's cool. And it's worth saying I'm getting, I'm hosting, so I'm not only joined to the game, but I'm also a server. I'm getting 90 frames. And we've got 4 people at the moment.
That's beautiful, Dylan.
Take your shoes off. So yeah, there's gravity in here. So see how he's walled it in using the voxels, which is pretty cool.
0G.
So, we see this as being basically how you'll start out initially, I think. Yeah, and streaming on the same machine as well. So that's a good point. Streaming probably eats a few frames. So yeah, I definitely see this as being how you'll initially start your start out when you're doing your stations. This is a pretty cool base, Dylan. See, we've done a lot of optimization in terms of players and stuff like that. It's good that logic controllers. Did you fix those, Simon? I think Simon fixed them. It was a weird
no,
bug
I'm not
with
sure
them.
who fixed them. What's the name?
Someone did a check-in for it.
I mean, yeah, I'll take credit. It's fine. I did it.
So yeah, one thing we've tried to do is keep everything in game, and try to reuse stuff as much as we can. So yeah, solar panels. Are they placeable at the moment? They were broken. I'm gonna try them. Yeah, I need to look at that. So solar panels was something we added very early on. So see, they're broken at the moment. So I need to go back and redo them. But they should be pretty easy to fix. Oh, we nearly were able to place one. But yeah. Buy solar panel.
Ship docking's one of those big things we need to do too.
Yep, so I've got that on the list.
So ship docking will mean that you can connect with it and you don't have to worry about no oxygen as you're moving through to the station?
That's right. And it also means that it'll be locked into it. So it's actually going to be one block each side. Also to avoid the problems of... because each of them have their own grid controller and their own atmosphere controller, so it's going to avoid the issues of mixing between them. So it'll be we'll place one on one side and one on the other side, and then they'll connect to it. Yeah, the on-off buttons was rotated incorrectly. But that's easy. That's just an animation controller thing that I need to solve. So we've got to finish off doing. You've got to finish off doing the torpedoes as well, and you're going to be using that to shoot the monster. Oh, does anyone know if Scott's bug is working? I should probably save this.
I think it is.
Yeah, I think it is. We won't try it on the voxels and the asteroid, but we'll actually go inside here and. We don't have a scanner system in place at the moment for voxels or asteroids, but yeah, we are going to look at that. So I'm just going to start a new save, because at the moment we don't have a good way of getting rid of the bugs.
Hangar doors, Dean? Will we have them? Do we have them?
We have 2 square 1, but I haven't finished configuring it yet. Can anyone remember how we spawn a bug?
Grounders?
I think it was a grounder. Nope.
Did they get taken out of the spawn list?
No,
it's there.
I pushed it, but it just disappeared. Can you see it?
It might only work on motherships. Oh, you're on a mothership now?
Yeah.
I can try one down here.
I think only the host can spawn them.
Don't they die if there's no room or something like that? Or...
There we go. I just had to jump up.
Oh, I spawned one. There's one on the base. He's running around in my voxel base.
So yeah, these are what you're going to be fighting. So he's just running around.
Yeah, this one's navigating around the base, alright?
Okay, I'm going to go have a look at that. They're kind of adorable. They won't be when they're killing
Now
you.
we turn off all the lights.
No sounds on them yet either.
No. Is he going down the
Shadows
stairs?
look cool. I think because I haven't put any floors downstairs yet, maybe.
He might not be able to get off the stairs. See, we're doing A-star pathfinding on the grid basis.
Can you get this coal voxel? Are you able to mine that at the bottom of the stairs? Oh, you don't see it.
Ah, you already mined one. Oh, I just hit someone.
So what happens if you
I think
die
you're at bedrock.
in-game?
Is that bedrock? What is that? There's like a
No,
decal.
can mine it.
Yeah, it's the beginning of the bedrock, yeah.
Oh.
It's the bedrock level is messed up. It was supposed to be fixed by me, but it's still not working.
Yeah, bugs can walk all around. They can even crawl, I think, right? They can crawl up and down stuff. I think, I can't remember.
I'm gonna try to put some grating down the bottom of the stairs and see if I can pass down.
Yeah, I'll do that. I've got one.
So if you die in game, then do you respawn? Can someone fix you?
Someone put a railing. I don't have a tool to get rid of the railing. Someone's put a railing.
It's a little too health and safety.
Where'd he go?
He's stuck. There we go. Oh, he's coming down.
Lol. Ah! Yeah, they're pathing really good. And we do all that on a thread as well. So, you know, we get a lot of performance. It doesn't cost performance, still running 90 frames. It's the bug, still
0G.
walking around inside here. Yep, he's still walking around. Doo doo doo. Yeah, so I think if we've got no more questions, it's been quite a long stream. So I think we can call it there.
I guess if anyone's got any further questions, they can ask on Steam or wherever.
What's this? Someone made a light-based logic thing, which is pretty cool. So yeah, you know, a lot of people wanted to do like and/or gates and stuff like that, but I find you don't really end up using them that much. Whereas, I don't know, what do you think, Mason? You're probably like the whole and/or thing, right? But the existing logic system, you can actually do stuff with it.
Well, yeah. I mean, since you build state machines with the computer instead of actually having to, you know, implement a state machine via combinational logic, it's a lot easier to just, without having like a computer science background, to be able to actually program things how you want it to behave.
In
I like the
Peter's
logic computer.
in Peter's he's got a big station, and he's got a server room. It's got about 20 computers in it, controlling all the doors for emergencies and all that kind of thing. It's really cool.
So Peter's our artist, who's just done an absolutely amazing job with putting everything together. You know, I'll do some development getting the grinder, the tool. So we're adding another tool to the game, grinder, and you're going to be able to use the welder to smelt like ghetto style. So, you know, you have your iron or basic ores, you'll be able to actually smelt them just by melting them with the welder, and you'll be able to do the same thing to turn them back to ore with a grinder, just in case you don't have the stuff. But I mean, super successful. If you go back and look at the previous dev streams, it takes you know, it's gotten heaps better in a really small space of time, and that's why we're pretty confident about 2 weeks getting this out so that people can actually use it.
Have another look in the base.
bugs everywhere. So yeah, they're working really well. You know, we do that calculate. We do a lot of stuff threaded. So you can see I'm still running 100 frames. I don't know if people can see that in the top. So it's starting to get ridiculous. Do we still have the chicken? Does anyone know if that even works? No, we got rid of that. Yeah, so it's come a long way. We focused a lot on doing core core work. I think decals aren't working. It's a insect orgy. Can I say that on stream? I think I can. They said that in Asterix and Obelix, remember?
That's disgusting.
Aaron's playing Escape from Tarkov.
Not made by D.
Not playing our game. Yeah. Have we got any more questions, or should I switch to doing some dev?
I guess the only other one really was how big can your station be if we tried stress testing to see if it's a performance thing, or will we limit it ourselves?
It is going to, you know, there is performance concerns with scale, but that's what we focused on a lot. I mean, you could already build quite a lot of stuff in the game without huge performance hits. Like, Peter's base is pretty huge. I'm not sure what performance he's getting with it. And, you know, there's going to be a lot more that we do as we go on. But the whole idea of early access is to decide what game loops in this actually make sense. Does the adventure mode, is that more fun than just the station mode? The biggest thing to answer is, why are you building the station? So that's why the station, I guess, start is going to be more about saying, well, you know, should it be more about the systems in it, or the adventure mode, should it be more about building the station so you can do missions and stuff like that?
Yeah, but if anyone's got more questions, we can direct them to Steam, or we'll
I said grenades.
to YouTube.
Oh
as
god,
well, so
I got
you can,
blown.
you can ask on
I'm
YouTube.
stuck. I'm stuck on a bug. Whoa. Whoa.
Oh, and the Discord as well.
I think you're on fire, or something's on fire. It's getting rather hot in here. Oh my god! Oh yeah, so the grenades blew a hole in the voxels. Whoa! Oh my god. I think I'm gonna die. There's so much fire.
Did it kill the bugs?
I think it has. Yeah, the bugs are dead.
Okay. I didn't think that
Mission
was gonna work.
accomplished.
I think items will catch on fire at this temperature. Yeah, we've even got
God.
some blue flame
We've
going
reached
on.
optimum burn.
Yeah, who's you?
I'd
My
probably
lungs are
set
burning.
My house on fire if those insects were in my house.
Yeah. So who's that? So yeah, the solution. I think stuff of mine is on fire at the moment.
Yeah.
Maybe in my backpack.
So, do these nuclear cells being on fire, is that a problem?
No. I think it burnt itself out.
Yeah, we're good.
I have problem developing.
High.
So if you see, my suit is actually doing a pretty good job of cleaning up, but my waste tank is now full, or damn close to full. But my lungs are damaged. And my suit is leaking.
0G. Jetpack critical.
Guys, put a hole in my base.
What I'm going to do now is I'm just going to demonstrate
Pressure
what's happened
critical.
as we
Oxygen critical. Temperature
kill ourselves.
critical.
Hey, who's that who's taking their mask off? I want to see you like float around when you're like unconscious.
Yeah, it's me. Oh, there we go.
Oh, there it goes. Let's give him a nudge.
It's so beautiful, ragdoll. I'll throw stuff at him.
Alright, now my vision's fading.
Your jetpack's stuck on. Just curious. Whoa. Oh, you grabbed him. Oh my god, his head! His head, man! What'd you do? His head is ragdolled inside his body. I think we need to turn collisions with self off or something. Maybe try dropping him and see if his head comes back. Nope. We could heal him. I'll try heal pill him. You know what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna. Are you alive again? No. I'm gonna look at you with a medical scanner.
He ate something really sour. Looks fine on my screen though.
Oh.
Low pressure. Oxygen low. Oxygen critical.
Just copying all these bugs in.
Critical.
Oh, Scott's got a new path task that we need to. Path task.
Critical.
So yeah, one reason we're probably starting to notice, we might start noticing a loss of frames is because it's a debug thing. Oh god, what's going on? Oh, I'm unconscious.
Sivs, you're right.
Oh, so someone put me to sleep. Oh my god, I'm ragdoll.
Who's the person down by your feet?
That's a good way to
think that's
finish
me.
this part of the stream. As I slowly fade with laser fire. Shut the server down.
GG.
So I can do a little bit of development now. I'll pick something fun to do.
Destructible walls.
No, that's going to be a boring, unpleasant slog. Bye, Steph. So, there we go, to Unity.
User disconnected from your channel.
Actually, I don't know. I need food, so I'm not going to do the development side of it. I may do another development thing over the weekend. So like and subscribe if you maybe want to catch up with that. I'm really, really hungry. So, without further ado, goodbye everybody. Oh my god, it's Mason and Thomas. Oh, is that his name now?